or two, and number 1, and we're going to be watching Xypher versus Paco RobLAN. I am, of course, Lucky, and I'm joined by Bunfreeze. How you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent. First cast of the event. I've been analyst all day until now, and I'm looking forward to see some open action.
Some open action. Finally, we get to witness it, which is going to be fantastic. I mean, these teams through the open have been pretty solid. So, and a few of the names have been popping up around Div 1 and kind of like Div 2 level. So
yeah.
These teams are kind of showing what they can do on LAN. And
yeah.
It's exciting to see these new players like Ninetales, for example, I was talking to earlier, who seems to be rising up the ranks pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully aware of everyone on the side of Xypher. It's a very impressive team, and then there's more of a mix of players I do and don't know on the Paco RobLAN side. It sounds like word on the street is that most people expect Xypher to be taking this one pretty easily. I know Beavern on the rollout segment just then was saying it should be free, but there's no Koyo for Xypher, I believe. So
yeah, that's a very interesting decision that they've had to make there, where they've had to get Mac in. But on the other side of Paco RobLAN, I mean, not a team by any stretch that you should count out. They've got Force, they've got Piggles, two very established players. I mean, Piggles has been playing Prem, Force playing Div 1, so I mean, those players have been around. Storm's playing Div 1, so it's definitely a good team to go up against, but definitely a mixed team this LAN. Coming here for the funsies, not taking it too seriously. They just managed to come basically second top of their group, so we'll see what happens in this game. We do have map picks and bans as well, so we've got Sunshine and Snakewater as the picks process of the final one.
Well, do you think any team has a certain advantage on a certain map, or this is just a case of it's some mixed teams playing at LAN? They'll play whatever's fun.
Yeah, I think that they didn't want to play Metalworks on the side of Paco RobLAN because they hate it. They're not staunch defenders of that map. Gullywash, I'm not sure why Xypher banned it at all, but Sunshine and Snakewater I know are both in the wheelhouse of both teams, so that's a given. And Granary and Product are lame, so we get process as the final one. So, I think it's just obvious. They just want to have a bit of fun with this, so we'll see how this goes going forwards, I guess.
Yeah, well, we are loading into Sunshine any second. We'll be going live soon. Do you have any expectations for who's going to win? Give me a quick prediction.
Oh, my heart is with Paco RobLAN for the name alone,
Oh,
God.
we just had all 12 people on blue. I thought we were going to have a heavy fist fight, then we'd have something fun to cast, but it looks like
I mean, we might. Oh, never mind.
agreeing.
Storm has decided that he's actually going to go into the other team. That could have been hilarious. I mean, I would like to see a heavy fist fight at LAN for once. It's usually pretty entertaining. So, especially if they go stock fists, because then it's really like whacking each other. Love it. But yeah, also, I think Kindred is
pretty good.
Also, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. So those are going to be the players to look out for. I think it's going to be Ninetales, Lil Cute, and Kin. They're all pretty
Am I right
solid.
Thinking that Storm is off-classing? I don't even know what Storm plays as a main class nowadays. It was Div 1 Scout and then ended up in Soldier, Demo, Mid, low, whatever.
Typically playing Scout, but now he's sliding over to Soldier. I mean, he's very, very capable in main call department, so I feel like that's going to be like the main thing that he's going to be doing for this team. Just, going to be throwing some things out there for them, making sure that they're all on the same page. That's kind of the Storm the way Storm plays on this team. So but they've got Forced on their team as well, who I know is like a hard main call also. So I have no idea how their team comps are going to work at all.
All right, makes sense. And quick thoughts on the Koyo replacement of Mac with a C, not the Prem Mac with a K that was just on the desk. What was that?
The Blessed Mac.
Blessed Mac.
The Blessed Mac, yeah.
Is it a huge downgrade, or is it pretty okay?
I think it is a downgrade. I mean, Koyo's been playing sort of bottom Prem, whereas Mac's kind of been playing Div 1-2. So it's only, not by a lot, but I think it is still a downgrade. I mean, Koyo, bless his socks, is probably in Spoons a bit too late now for him. Therefore, he's not here anymore. So what do you think, though? What do you think about these Mac joining? Have you got any opinions?
I mean, I know nothing about Mac. I know that Koyo's a pretty decent player, so losing Koyo is definitely pretty big deal for this team, but it's like, it's still looking at these rosters, I think one-to-one, I'm taking every player from team name Xypher every time.
Got it.
Like, I don't think Paco RobLAN is going to have much of a chance here. I think it's probably going to be a two-map affair. Maybe at least one of the maps will be a pretty fast one too.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this Sunshine map is probably, I don't know, for teams that play sort of mixes, it does require on Sunshine mids for you to be a little bit, more coordinated, I guess, because of how the Sunshine sort of meta has developed. So I think that we're not going to see any of these clockwork mids as much. So you might see some very scuffed clockwork mids, but I think for the most part, we'll just have people sending it into each other for the entirety of all the mids.
Yeah, yeah.
As
People,
is the LAN way of things.
Chad fighting over the top of the bell tower, seeing if they can hit the air shot every time.
Yeah, no one's going to splash on the top of that spire once. It's going to be directs only and nothing else. That's all we're going to see. I mean, who have we got in demo as well for both teams?
We've got Acicle.
Acicle demo, that's interesting, because he usually plays scout, so...
Yeah.
He's shoved over onto demo. I guess that's to get Ninetales and Little Cute in, because they're both very up-and-coming scouts, so... Seems good.
And I can't press tab to see the full name of the other demo man who's using a stupid LAN name.
Oh yeah, dumb LAN names. We love them. Also, Lambo Driver is Ascend. Yeah, so he's been around as well, Div 1. So this is like a full Div 1 team. I would not be surprised if you saw that team next season, top of Div 1. Yeah.
Do you reckon they'd play Hamburg LAN as well?
Nah. I don't know how many people are actually going to play it, but apparently it's quite a few EU teams. Like the teams that we don't have showing up at this LAN are likely going to show up to the next one. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, it always takes a LAN for everyone to get the hype back again. It's like, there hasn't been LAN for a long time. You see everyone else is there having fun and you're missing out. It's like, oh, I've got to get to the next one then.
Yeah. We've got all 6 in the server now, so we're just waiting to get ready. But I'm also, like, usually in this event, whenever I come to, like, a LAN and stuff, I'm always like, oh, goddamn. Playing looks like so much fun.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's always just like you're watching other people play and screaming and stuff on LAN. It's just an entirely new experience. So if there's anyone that hasn't been to LAN before, you should definitely come because it's a insane experience. Yeah.
There's always also the chance that you get to get rolled by Banny and then you get to go and shake his hand also.
That was me earlier. One of my ex-teammates didn't want to play, so I just joined in and played against Banny. But it looks like we are actually, in fact, going live as we've got both teams smacking the F4 button. We're going to watching Davey on the way to this first mid, and it's going to be looking like he's getting some pretty decent speed on the way in. We've also got a pretty fast roll-off from Acicle, so getting a relatively even time, slimming those stickies across on this first mid. But a nice sticky into Acicle. He does get low pretty quickly here. Soldier spamming down onto him, trying to get a bit of damage done. Storm's going to be coming across from that cafe zone. Just gets absolutely bodied by Mac, unable to do anything. He's going to be rolling through. Lots of damage has been dealt. Let's see if he can get onto this demo man. He does manage to take him down. It's going to be plenty of players down for the red side. They're going to have to look at trying to retreat out of this one, but they do kind of have the position on the red team. They managed to spread across this mid pretty thinly, and also they're going to be rotating back out. Looks like they're going to be retreating through flowers. The chase is on from DigiB. Let's see if he can get anything done there, but looks like the chase is going to be off here. They're getting some pressure towards Choke, and they're just going to try and continue pushing through. Players returning to the fight, so off their respawners, so looks like they're going to have to back off on the blue side and just hold on to this mid. Yeah,
the respawners coming in there really just stunted any aggression out of Xypher, but they did have a good fight at the start of the mid. It looks like they're actually, there's a bust in through Cafe. The stickies are being cleared right now. Texki is being able to take those down. Oh, but no, they're losing 2 for it.
Oh, no.
He's just feeding in, and now this is definitely going to be a push from Xypher 6v4 as they come into seconds. Looks like they're all going through flowers.
Yeah, slowly making their way in here. Acicle does not want to eat a trap here. The bombs are coming in. Looks like DigiB's going to be taking that high ground, but getting just pelted away by these scouts. The Uber does come out from the red side. Pickles just uses, and the blue team has no intention of using. They're just going to leave through flowers. Looks like Ascent's going to be just fine. Ninetales does feed his life away, but Storm going down in return, so that's an excellent trade if you're other side of Xypher there, making their way on towards this second now. It looks just taking their time with this one. They don't want to lose anyone to any traps hidden around the point.
Yep, big 100% ad, just taking their time. Ascend not going to get caught off by anything at all, and this is kind of the exact scenario you want coming into Sunshine last. I mean, if you can get an advantage like this on the second, get second for free, you need a pretty big advantage coming into Sunshine last if you want to be able to do something. We've seen how horrible it is in the stalemate scenarios, so here it comes through top. The Uber is in.
So they're going to be heading across behind the point here. The Heavy is still out, still full HP, but they're going with the bomb. They're just going to commit super hard. The Uber is now faded. The red team's just getting crushed in this corner. Point is being played. Stickies are down on the point as well. Uber goes down. It looks like Davey also going to drop here, but there's 3 red players even on very, very low HP, unable to really do anything here. The Scout's just going to play the point. Ninetales is going to cap this one out for the blue side, making it 1-0.
Yep. An easy, expected conversion off the back of that 100% ad. Just, I mean, a good job from Xypher all around. They won the mid. They had Mac hiding in their own cafe at the start of mid, and then as the clockwork mids came in, as you said, is so much the meta these days on Sunshine, Mac is just shooting floor rockets at people in the back and picks up 2 free kills. So we'll see if they do the same thing this mid. It looks like Mac is heading towards Cafe.
Looks like they're going to be making their way in. Looks like they're going to be a bit of a collide here. The blue team is going to have to back off towards that left-hand side around Tetris. They're a little bit slow on this. and Mac is looking like he's being pressured heavily. 2 soldiers are in on top of him, but that leaves the rest of the mid free, as it looks like they are going to get Texi as a trade for this one. 2 players off the mid has meant that they're going to lose a player. Also taking the high ground here is Lil Cute, so unable to really do much here on the red team as high ground has been claimed. Storm is going to be pushed off of this high ground and cleaned up. DigiB taking the high ground as well. The red team is looking at a very sorry position. Davey goes down. They're just wiping one by one. Piggles stuck in a rock and a hard place here. Looks like he's going to fall as well. And just 1 scout left on this mid is going to be Kin, and he's looking like he's going to be able to escape this, but he's going to just commit. Can he get ace call? The answer is completely no. Ninetales cleans that one up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good job from Kindred to last so long and at least, you know, delay that mid capture, get some times for his spawners on the last. But eventually it is a 6-man wipe, and it's going to be the massive advantage. Pickles going down so late at the end of that fight. It's going to be a rough one. They do have Kindred on the sniper on last already. Teski on Sentry, and the Pyro as well was up for a second, but it looks like they're opting to get back on 2 soldiers. So the Sentry has already been spammed down by Mac from lower, no level 3 to hold off this push. The heavy is in instead as the Uber comes in from top. Texi's just going to get rolled by this Uber, but they're not finding much else with it. They're trying to play the point a little bit here, but they're completely splitting the last in half. Red still have control of half of the last. Lil Cute is just playing the point so well, but he's eventually going to get taken down by Kindred. All of the high ground still in control of Blue, and the bomb comes forward from Mac. Puts a bit of damage into this soldier, and everyone else is just walking on the point as he surfs them back, and there we go, 2-0 to Xypher.
Very, very nicely done there from Xypher, just pushing them across that point. I mean, the initial bomb, like you mentioned, wasn't actually that good when they brought the Uber in, but it ended up working out for them in the end, just pushing across that point. They just fully committed over that point, really making them unable to do anything at all as soon as they got some more cap time down. They sacrificed Lil Cute for a bit, and in the end it did work out pretty well. So coming in towards the next mid, Acecall's going to be pretty quick, and Davey a little bit slower, and Acecall's going to get some nice stickies down, but placing them in the wrong location onto Flowers. No one is going there, so those stickies are going to be absolutely wasted. Waiting for an arrow as Davey just received from Piggles, and now they're going to move across this mid. Another clockwork mid going on so far, just waiting to see what these soldiers are going to be doing. Uguay does go down, that's Force falling here. Mac also looks like he's going to go down, so it's a 1-for-1. DigiB in with a high bomb is going to be landing in this choke. The soldier is going to get caught here. The Demo Man also going down here. DigiB going to fall, and we just got players going down here, there, and everywhere, but the red team seems to be coming out on top for once. And Lil Cute here on the left-hand side going to be bringing it across. Oh no, looks like they get the scout. Oh no! It's looking pretty bad now, but Piggles needs to survive this fight if they're going to get something done, and they are going to get the cleanup here on the red side.
Just a colossal blunder from Ascend. Starts walking out of choke when both of his combat players are walking up the stairs towards Cafe. He's completely alone, and Texki sees the opportunity instantly, mows him down with the scattergun there, and that is a massive, massive advantage. 100% already with the mid-fight ends, and they are going to be capping this one up, moving this forwards. There's still Lil Cute in behind, but it looks like, oh, he is actually going to take down Davey. That demo frag could mean a lot for the incoming last push, or at least might be attempted last push. They might not even go for it, waiting for this demo.
Yeah, waiting for this demo is going to be huge for them. I mean, I have no idea how they're going to be able to do this. I reckon they're going to wait for his spawner. He's going to collect the packs, and then they're going to just try and make it happen here. I don't think they're going to wait around. It's 2-0 currently. They need to make something happen. The Sentry Gun is currently up level 3 next to that spawn door. So they're going to come in with the Uber charge and just try and take that one down. They do manage to do so in relatively quick fashion. Dispenser also going to get cleaned up here by the looks of things. But the red team haven't managed to do anything at all. They're just holding this top right area, unable to really get through. Force just gets air shot, absolutely destroyed on the ground as well. So he's going to be unable to do anything at all. And the blue team are going to hold this one.
Yeah, I mean, the Demo Man is so important for that push in particular. There's absolutely no point like taking one half of the map and then not being able to sticky up the point or put any damage into the enemy players to walk forwards into them. So there is an attempt to push out of last here right now. Mac bombing forwards towards the choke. Storm's going to get spammed down by the scattergun as well. So that's actually a pretty good performance to get back out onto second here from Xypher.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be able to push this one as well. They do have a small land, it's 25%, but they won't be able to chase across the mid with it. So they're going to have to take it nice and slow. The Ubers are going to even up here by the looks of things, but they've got this one player ad, so they want to make it work as much as they can. Stickies are by that choke as well. They have not been cleared, but it looks like they're going to be moving through, and Piggles just making his way, well, sorry, Ascend making his way through Cafe, but players going down, they're going to trade 1-for-1. Once again, these teams are very solid at picking off players one by one and just making the fight slow down. Ubers have now evened up. Lil Q going in on the Demo Man, trying to get something done. He's going to eat tons of damage now, isolated away from his team, and just get cleaned up. And now it's going to be Kin going forwards. They get the Force onto Ascend as well, so looks like the red team are going to be pushing all the way back to their own Cafe and holding their Ubercharged Piggles in the exact right position. And also, they're going to be going through Flowers. The aggressive play here coming in. They could catch the entire blue team here if they're fast enough. Davey does get an arrow. The Uber looks like it's heading towards the shutter door. They need to escape rapidly. Ascend
Ascend is caught in. He gets out through lower, and he does manage to escape only just, but the Demoman is on his tail. And it looks like they're going to be able to clean him up here in lower. The pistol does come out. He's so weak, he gets the small pack, but does get pistoled down in the end. And Kid is also going to go down for it. The red team, though, all trapped in that lower door as Mac gets in on top of Force. Nice rocket, does a lot of damage, but this red team has now completely scattered the wind. Respawn is coming from the blue team. Mac is weak, but the last player standing is Storm behind that point, and he eventually goes down.
Man, that's such a shame for Paco RobLAN. They played it so well. I mean, it was a dreadful Uber from Xypher on mid. They basically, some players were going forwards while some were going back. They didn't know who to Uber. They dropped 2 players beforehand, and then Storm forces them from behind as well. Absolutely terrible. And then they managed to get Paco RobLAN just caught them all off with that very fast play through Flower, but unable to convert it. They do now come back into second with all their respawners, not able to get off their own last, are Xypher. So we're going to be seeing the sentry gun getting set back up once again. 40% advantage for Piggles, who's going to be taking this in through lower any second now. So Davey needs to lead this one, bombing in forwards, doesn't even bomb in fact, just waddling through the low ground, hasn't found anything at all. The sentry's still up, no damage has been done. They're trying to play the point, but it's not going to be enough. Ascend is going to get this in a few seconds. Texky goes down to the sentry gun as well. Davey is left high and dry. He is going to get fragged off here any second now.
Run! He escapes. I don't know how he escaped. He was in last for about 30 seconds longer than the rest of his team, but he has survived on 21 points of HP. He's going to receive an arrow from Piggles and make his way back to the rest of the team. But it looks like the blue team of Xypher going to be coming in here. Storm's going to try and make his way around to Flowers, but he's now getting chased down by the rest of the blue team, and also red team are going to back off to their own cafe, respecting the 100% Uber that Ascend has. Unable to really spam him down or get a force out is going to mean that now mid is going to be pressured as well. Still a 35% advantage coming into the mid, so we're going to see how they want to take this one. Once again, they're going to be going through choke here. Stickies have not been cleared again. Davey's been doing a really good job of just getting those stickies set up. Bomb comes in from Force. Looks like he's nearly going to get it, but unable to do much here, and he does get cleaned up in the end. Ascend left to his own devices, but Piggles here is going to get his Uber, but the positioning is so poor. They're just getting bodied in this doorway. They're going to lose 3 on this. 4 players going down, and Piggles just dropped his entire team, basically.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's by his own choice or a mistake, but like, maybe you drop a couple people there to try and get a better Uber. It's like, I don't know, man. You're just, if you can't be losing 4 basically, and there is a spawner in the forwards. Avatar Uguay is getting a frag onto. What are you doing, Digi? What?
Digi, come on, man. You don't lose to those. Looks like the red team's actually going to be coming out through lower left with that pick from Force. Force is still in the forwards, dealing so much damage. They're going to find Nintels as well and get the second cap basically for free. So unable to do anything is Xypher as they just lose players here, there, and everywhere. But weird frags getting traded kind of all over the place. But things are going to settle down with the second cap going through, and Ascend is eventually going to get his Uber charge.
I mean, it's exactly the sort of scuffed stuff you expect to see from the open game. You know, dropping 4 players and saving your Uber, and then losing a 1v1, camping a spawn door. There is a 1v1 going on in Kitchen Cafe right now.
Nailed it. Well, it looks like they're going to be making their way in through choke is Xypher. They've managed to find 2. They get Avatar Uguay and they get Storm as well. So Digitabe's just going to be moving forward here. Onto the shutter, does get the bomb, and the Force comes out. Very nice stuff from him. Going to get all the way back to his medic. Ascend still has not had to use, so they're just going to start surrounding them. And the Uber's going to fade him, and Piggles coming through the shutter door does manage to slip away and get out to last, but he is the only one. So he's going to need to get on Pyro or Heavy ASAP if he wants to save this one. Storm and Force have got their respawners, but they're now trapped on the left-hand side. Cap comes through on second, bombing in desperately. Uber charge comes out. Looks like they're going to claim everyone. Piggles with a very nice surf though, to keep himself alive, but this looks like it's going to be a bit of a wash here, Bum, as they just cap it out.
Yep, Piggles having a pretty nice surf on second as well to get out into lobby and back to last. Not that it mattered absolutely at all. I mean, they get no spawners in time anyway, and you can see how much it means to wipe on second on Sunshine. It's like, makes it so much easier to get into last compared to when teams actually have stuff set up. I expect if we do see something like that set up between these lower skilled teams, that's usually when we see absolutely clueless gameplay and everyone gets locked out for the entire map. But it's been pretty fast so far. Xypher in a dominant control of the map so far. Both teams switching sides. No one's hiding this time to start shooting them in the back. Avatar Uguay has cleared that out, so they are fully committed to each other's side now as the bombs come forward. Avatar Uguay is going down very low, but still no one is managing to get fragged. The health is so much worse for Paco RobLAN here. Pickles is trying to just get out, but they've got out to the wrong side of mid. As we mentioned, they've swapped sides. They're going to have to 5-man through Flowers here to try and get back to their own side.
This is going to be terrible. They're going to have to go through sticky bombs and a small choke point to get in towards mid. The cap is going to go through as well. They could just send a player back and start back camping, but they do find 2 here. Looks like we're going to have players going down everywhere desperately, and an Uber trade, it looks like it's going to ensue here. Pickles is used, but Ascend is just hopping backwards, and looks like they're going to just chase them with the Uber because they were on the opposite side, so the Uber's just going to run down onto Pickles, but Pickles with some nice jukes. The movement is really good, and he's just going to slip away, and he survives, whereas the rest of the red team has just decided, you know what, we're out of this one. They're going to be heading back to last. They do manage to... No, Texie does, in fact, go down, so 2 down currently, so they can make something happen on last.
Yeah, Lil Cute missing all those shots. Come on now, man. You got to be...
you got to hit those on land.
You got to hit those, but not that it matters when you're about to be 4-0 up anyway, maybe. They are rolling this into last with their 2-pick advantage. Already time on the point. Sticky's getting cleared. The bomb comes forwards onto the demo who's trying to replace them, and this is looking like a very good last conversion here for Xypher. They take the 4-0 lead with less than half the map gone.
Yeah, so dominant. I mean, they've 16 minutes left. Paco RobLAN, they need to come up with something and come up with something fast if they're going to make anything happen, but it's looking so dominant. Xypher definitely looking like a dominant team, and from the open here, just it looks like they're just clearing the way, and Ace Core's going to be making his way in towards mid pretty quickly. Davey also just trailing behind as well, just a little bit slow, but going through Flowers again this time. Looks like they're going to be heading over to the left-hand side. Uguay's just going to be bombing across there, taking on to Tetris, but there are 2 players actually hanging over on that left-hand side to deal with this threat, but Mac gets cleaned up, so there's going to be a 1-player advantage inside the red team, but they are on the low ground altogether, stuck in that little death corner. It's really where you do not want to be. DigiB is going to be bombing around towards Choke, getting on top of Force, but it looks like you find 2 all of a sudden, and the blue team have managed to also escape out of their Flowers. Just going to be retreating as fast as they can. Players being left out to dry, and Ace Core goes down, and they also find Ascend here. Pickles is surviving all of this at the same time, so they're going to have a full round to play with. Ninetales and Lil Q are now going to try and salvage the situation, absolutely bodied by a rocket from Storm.
There's no way we see the TCM, right? This is looking like a brilliant opportunity for their first round at the very least. I mean, it's 100% out. The med is still down. There's a sack coming in on second. It's Mac trying to get something done, but this is just going to end up as a feed. It looks like finally getting found by the 2 scouts there.
A bit of a nice fight there, though. Bit of a nice fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a soldier down and a full advantage, though, now for Paco RobLAN. Can they get their first round on the board?
Yeah, the Uber is now coming through the right-hand side. They're going to get the sentry gun down and try and kill as fast as humanly possible. The pipes do land in the end. Moving around to this left-hand side, trying to layer up those stickies on that spawn door. The right door is in fact free. King goes down on the point there to the stickies that were laid. Uguay's the bomb and just gets double air shot. Oh my god, absolutely destroyed. Davey and Storm also going to drop here, and this push has been absolutely thwarted. The only survivor is Piggles, and he is probably likely to get run down here. The bombs are coming forwards. Max going to be bombing. Nice arrow there to defend himself, and he does.
Oh my
god!
Mac, no!
Let's go,
Piggles. That. Good job from Piggles to keep himself safe, but I think that was the best opportunity we're going to see out of Paco RobLAN. They had everything for them, and they didn't manage to convert the last push. And now, I mean, we are playing Win Them at 5. They have literally 5 attempts to just instantly take the round and end the game. It's like Paco RobLAN have such a comeback to try and manage here, and they are already getting pushed back as Texki and Storm will fall. There is going to be a push into mid now, inevitably. The 6v4 comes in. They're not going to have to use their Uber here at all, but there's been a bit of a delay, so Piggles will be getting his, and we might even things out on second here.
Yeah, looks like we're just going to be chilling out now. These forward spawners are coming in for the red team. The blue team did not manage to get that cap just in time, so it looks like we're going to just have a bit of a stalemate, really the first one of the game, so we're going to see how they want to take this one, but it looks like it's probably going to be a soldier getting sacked here. DigiB has got a full buff, or nearly a full buff, it's beginning to decay, but they're starting to head over towards Flowers to try and poke at this hold, see where the holes are, and see where they get these sacks off, but it's likely just going to be the classic, let's just send it through choke, because, you know, it's a mixed team.
Yeah, I don't think they've put much thought into how to break Sunshine second on this team. They might have some set strats set up, very advanced stuff that we'll never see in an invite bracket, such as sacking 1 and hoping for the best.
Yeah, such as not setting up for the sack at all, no spam involved.
Yep.
And yeah, just wait. I mean, also the blue team here, they kind of just don't have to do anything. They could just
I mean, yeah.
But that's the boring way of doing it, but they are going to try and make something happen here. Looks like they're heading in towards Flowers. The heals are still at choke though, so Ascent's not going to be supporting the sack. DigiB is going in for a single sack like we mentioned before. Never mind, he's going to back all the way out. Nice shot onto Force. just shoves him all the way out the way. Max going to be trying to pressure from Cafe at the same time, just getting that spam down. Not really finding that medic at all, though, who's just hiding on that low ground. Piggles in excellent position. Digibee does get in, but Piggles just surfs it away.
Yep, only one rocket able to be fired. Piggles is more than comfortable holding on to that one. And it looks like they are going to be moving forwards towards Cafe with the combo here. Scout and Demo looking to try and break something in Cafe. Maybe they've spammed Mac back off of the angle. And there we go, the soldier jumps through. Forced is now in, but the Uber has been used out. This is not the best. The trade is a lot better now for Ascend. They are going to be picking up a soldier off the back of it as well. Storm is trying to bomb him all the way in behind. He's landed on top of the bell tower. He's just getting chased out though. And now he does pick up the pack as the rest of his team pushes in from the front. There is a fight happening on mid. Ninetales is doing a lot of damage into Teskey. Will he be able to finish off the kill? Finally does so. And this fight has just gone all Xypher's way.
Yeah, they're just finding kills absolutely everywhere. 3 down, and it's looking like it's going to be the second for absolutely for free. But the one saving grace is that Piggles is very, very good at surviving. He's managed to survive most of these engagements. He's just managed to hold on to that Uber charge. So it's going to kind of even up. But 3 players currently being down. They're going to get their respawners, but the blue team are going to start poking in towards last. They've got 1 player going in all on his lonesome into last. So the rest of the team are going to start making their way in towards lobby. They are trying to set up a sentry guard. Kin is up on that engineer, so let's see how they want to spam this one down and then just try and make some stuff happen on this last, even though it's another's down.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we spoke about so much before. Sunshine last, especially with less experienced teams, is a very, very tricky one. You can just see people bang their head against the wall for all 5 minutes until we end up back at mid, and I don't think Xypher would even mind that. They've been winning pretty much from mid all the time as of yet, but it looks like they have actually managed to find a way in through Big Door. They're just trying to bust in here, make some space, get everyone through the door. That Heavy, though, is putting in a lot of spam work to keep them back, lowering everyone's health, and they just decide to dip out of there.
Another sack 1 attempt potentially coming in here from Digibee, you know, just going to be manning up for the rest of his team, getting that buff on the top right side, and he could be going for a bit of a skip jump here by the looks of things coming through lobby. Digibee has always been the kind of guy who gets those bombs off. He seems to like sort of accelerate at like Mach 10.
And now would be the opportunity, but the sentry just got moved up into the better position that does actually deny the sack now. So there's in fact a sack from Forced into lobby. He's going to get 100 onto Ascend, but that's all. The pack is up, so he's going to be healthy again in no time. And now that's a 6v5 that could be taken into last. They're going to try and get this gun. They do successfully spam it down from lower. That's Mac taking down the frag onto that one. And with no sentry and 1 soldier down, that's leaving a door pretty much wide open, but they're just not seeing it. They're going so slowly here. The soldier's already back up. Here comes the sack instead. Digi landing inside the sentry and just does nothing. There's some point play as well from Ninetales, but it's pretty much exactly what you don't expect them to do off getting that frag and sentry. And here we go. It looks like an attempted push out, or maybe just a sack from Storm here as he is in lower. He's been spotted out by the demo. There is lobby presence from Paco RobLAN, but that's not really very useful on Sunshine. You kind of want to get back to last. Yeah. Otherwise, you are going to get wiped here on second and lose the last that way. But looks like they are fully committing to it now, even though the spawners are coming in. The Uber is so much better for Xypher, and if they are able to trap Piggles out here, they just don't manage to. The stickies are a second too early, and Piggles just gets through, and now they're back safe on last.
Yeah, Piggles is like a forest. Oh, Ninetales in
Ninetales.
lower. No one's on last.
No one's on last. They're all in lobby.
No,
this is why you don't do that.
Oh, it's 5-0. Oh, God. That's not how you want to see it end. They were doing so well for a period of time there, but no. Piggles slips away, does manage to escape, but it doesn't matter. Nintel's just there to clean everything up. That's going to be a 5-0.
Yeah.
Very, very dominant performance.
You say doing so well, but you just meant they weren't getting rolled as hard as they
just
were
weren't
the
getting
entire
destroyed.
rest of the game.
That's yeah. There's nothing else that's really going on.
Yeah, as soon as you lose someone or just don't have an opportunity to immediately push out onto second, you want to get back on last. There's no use in holding lobby. There's so many more doors from lobby to second than there are from lobby to last. It makes it a lot easier. No one can just go through under and win the game against you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just shows that Xypher, once again, they didn't really drop that many games in their open group. The group that they were in was, they didn't have like another big team, like another big Div 1 team like the Group B did. With Boomers and Paco RobLAN, they were mostly dominant throughout, but this shows that, you know, Xypher could do pretty well here. I mean, going up against a team against like Swift, how well do you reckon they would do? The bottom team currently in the invite, how well do you reckon they would do?
That is definitely going to be a very interesting game. I think, like, with this being as dominant as it was and how close the matchups between Xypher and Boomers were to take the top seed to actually get to go against Swift, and then how close it was between Swift and Boomers. Those three teams are like completely even, I reckon, Xypher, Swift, and Boomers. So if we do get the opportunity to see a Xypher versus Swift later on in the bracket, that would be very, very interesting, especially if DigiB is, oh, not DigiB, if Koyo has recovered from whatever ailment it is that stopped him from being able to play today. That could be a very interesting game.
Yeah.
But in terms of the series that's still going on, do you think there's any life left in Paco RobLAN, or are we seeing another 5-0?
As much as I love them, probably no. After that performance, I mean, Sunshine does require a lot of teamwork, and it definitely shows. Like we mentioned before, you need to kind of have that team experience in order to, make it work on Sunshine. So, yeah, but I think that's what Paco RobLAN really lacks. So I think coming into a new map, they could have a bit more of a chance. Some of these pub maps, the top three we call it, Gully Wash, Snake, and Process. Those are the kind of the mixed maps. So I feel like they'll do a little bit better, but I'm not hoping for much, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see much different either. I think another 5-0 is on the cards here.
Yeah, you always have that team where it's like in your heart you want them to do well.
Yeah, I mean,
but your brain says you're an idiot.
Love to see Piggles make it to the grand final stage, but I just don't think it's necessarily going to happen.
An interview with Piggles would be, oh, that man. If you've not met him, row B 2021 guys, just go meet that boy. Yeah, absolutely fantastic gamer. I do love to see him. We're going to be swapping to our next map. So, yeah, if you think in chat, you can probably do your predictions. But if I was a betting man, definitely say Xypher.
Well, if I was a betting man, I'd do like some little mathematical calculations about the actual statistical odds of it. Think about whether I'm going to put a small bet on the... I'm just kidding. It's going to be Xypher.
Yeah, it's going to be like... No small bets here. I mean, what would the odds be? 10,000 to 1.
Yeah. Okay, so coming into Snakewater, it's a very one-dimensional mid compared to the kind of swapsy-do everyone likes to do on Sunshine. Is that worth talking about, or there's just no analysis to be done here at all?
I think that there is like two known meta, but like we saw much of like the meta on Sunshine on that mid. I think that we got a lot of clockwork mids, which is what a lot of teams are doing. On Snakewater, there are two meta mids, and that is the slow mid, where you go catwalk, or it's the crunchy mid, where you just send it. I think we're just going to see crunchies.
Yeah, I think
we're going to just see 5 crunchies.
Holding W every round, and I think the DM of Xypher is going out on top, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, Ninetales and Little Cute are pretty uncontested. Like, every single mid, they don't have anyone dealing with them. Davy's just not being able to get the space to find the spam onto them, because DigiB is controlling Davy in most of the mid fights by the looks of things. Mac also did a pretty good job of just distracting players away, so the 2 soldiers were kind of off the mid as well, so there's no one to deal with these scouts. Ninetales and Little Cute are having completely free games. So they're going to continue this, I think. They're going to probably do like a left side rush with one of their scouts, just going to meat shot everything, and then that'll be it. Mid will be over.
Yeah, that makes sense. And do you think we will see either of these teams have the super last hold we always see on Snakewater nowadays?
The Iron Fortress hold.
Yeah, exactly. And run down the clock. Do you think we won't even see the opportunity for that to happen because it's going to keep flowing the way of Xypher like in the first map?
Yeah, it's just going to be... As much as I want to be positive, I think that they can do it because, like, the Iron Fortress hold is pretty strong. You get that sentry gun in the middle, and it's pretty easy to defend on even Ubers. When it's Uber disad, it's a different story. You can't really build that gun in the middle because it's indefensible. Yeah. Whereas if you build it on the left-hand side, if they push in right, you just lose. So it's, if it's going to be a big roll on mid, I feel like both teams are going to be like, just kill the medic. So Ascend and Piggles, I reckon, are just going to die every mid.
Yeah, I think so. It's just double bomb on the medic and then like scrappy fight it out and see
who comes out on top.
Exactly.
I don't think there'll be any other strategy here. Yep. These soldiers are just going to land in Sort or in their kitchen or one of those places and just try and send it. We have got all of our players currently in the server. They're just warming up in DM. So any round predictions? Do you reckon that they're actually going to get 1 round now that we're on Snakewater, or do you think it's just going to be straight up 5-0 again?
I think they can get 1 round. I think there's like more chance of them just wiping them on mid and being able to carry that forwards than there is on Sunshine. But I don't think they're going to be doing it consistently. I think they could even wipe them on mid and then beef the last push somehow and stuff like this. It doesn't seem like this core of Xypher, even though they haven't been like a team in the last season, they've had so much playtime together. They've probably at least got that aspect nailed down that they aren't going to be beefing the easy bits, whereas the easy bits have sometimes been beefed by Paco RobLAN. So,
what was it that you had a stat earlier, which was about Snakewater resets?
Oh, yeah.
It's the most statistically, the most stalemating map, as we actually got a ready up going and we are going into the map, but we can talk about more about that later if we get a bunch of stalemates, but this time we're going to be following Davey into this first mid. He's going to be sending it all the way down to lower, does bump into the wall, but Aceco's going to be in the Saw Rune, so he's just going to be a little bit slow, but does get that pack. First stick he lands, though. Very nice damage to lead off from Davey there, so both teams. So we've got a catwalk roll out from Ascend as the soldiers are just going to send it. Ascend with a very nice stuff onto the roof. He is just gone and Pickles has been destroyed. So he's going down pretty much immediately here. Uguay's going to be trying to hold out in Sword. Just going to be bombing forwards. It's pretty for nothing though as he just hits the ground trying to get the bomb in. Nice damage though onto Ascend. Can he last the... Oh no, he cannot land that last rocket, but Texi is in. He does not find the medic and Ascend is going to be surviving on a slither of HP.
Yeah, it's a miracle Ascend lives through that one right at the start. Very nice surf up onto the balcony to be able to keep himself alive, and then finds a soldier in his face right at the end of mid, which just manages to survive on a very low amount of health. Now they are 3 down. There's a bomb in from Storm here, just trying to delay a little bit, it looks like, but the Ubers are firmly in the favor of Ascend here. They are going to be taking second pretty much for free. Looks like Force is taking a hell of a lot of damage there. That was risky.
A little bit risky from Force. That's a classic Force move. Like he did this with Div 1. He just likes to keep the pressure up and really push the limits of what he can achieve on Soldier. So I guess that was it there. But it's a very risk for reward play. But looks like they've got the sniper currently up. Just going to be looking into lower, trying to find that angle. Nearly sees the toes of Ascend there. That was very close. But so they're going to be taking this Uber in through that left-hand side shutter as the Uber's going to get used through the doorway. The gun is currently up. They're just going to try and clean it up as fast as possible. They do manage to take it down, moving across this left-hand side. The medic is out on the left, and the Uber just comes in from Pickles. It took way too long to bring it in. Ace Sticky's getting pushed out and away, and these blue soldiers are just going to go in and commit. They do find frags here. They find 2, and the rest of the blue team could recommit, but it's like Ascend is going to be out into bad, so it's just going to be Lil Q and Ascend surviving, but looks like the red team did manage to hold.
Yeah, they find 2 for 2, but they're nowhere near their medic, and I mean, that push into last was so sloppy that it was, I mean, completely confusing. Like, they just waited so long. Pickles literally had his Uber by the time they're going in. Now they're trying to recontest grass with nothing here, and Lil Q's just going to get face planted into the ground by Kindred. So, in fact, Xypher look to be making mistake after mistake so far on this Snakewater. They are getting rolled back into mid now. The traps do find Forced on the box there as Storm bombs in, finds the kill onto Ace4 as well. So there is no demo now for Xypher, and they are just losing people one by one. This could be chased, and they could just wipe here. Piggles with a small ad, but I guess they don't know.
Maybe they don't know. It's only been 3 minutes, but I'm changing my bet. It looks like they're doing pretty well on Snakewater so far. DigiB's going to get pushed away here, and they're just going to be making their way in. It's even Ubers, but they're just going to be shoving through. The Uber does get used for a set, but he drops DigiB from it, and looks like the rest of the red team are going to start retreating, taking onto that high ground towards Saw. The bomb's coming in from Mac onto that high ground. Eats a ton of damage, just pushed away there onto the low ground. He's eventually going to get cleaned up by looks of things. Frags are going to get traded. It's a 2-for-1 currently on that low ground, so 3 players currently off the blue team, 4 up for the red team, and getting that respawner is 5, and they're going to get pushed back to their last hit bump.
Yeah, maybe we just didn't know that this is Paco RobLAN's map pick. Maybe that was the crucial information we were missing, and now they do look to be in control here. There's no Ubers on the board yet, but they can just dry push this with the 2 pick advantage they have. The sack is in deep as well, landing right on top of Ascend, but there is a lot of damage being put onto these doors. Storm and Teskey are going to get taken down. Kindred tries to escape through the door, but the Stickies are there to block his exit as well, so they do just feed 3 into last now, and they are going to have to retreat from second.
Yeah, looks like the blue team are just going to make their way now into second, very slowly, very cautiously. Don't want to lose their medic to any traps here, so going to start capping out this point 5 times is there. Pickles is actually going to get his Uber here, been building pretty well this entire time, so it's going to be an even Uber situation, which is why we see these round resets. This a mid into second kind of push is kind of difficult to make happen, but if we're going to look at these teams in Prem and kind of compare them to what we see in this Div 1 kind of roster matchup, it's going to be that they can move into lower and just see if they can get those sacks off just by trying to bomb a soldier to bats and making that happen, or what else they can do here. But it looks like Saw is going to be the play. Forces managed to bomb in, just gets immediately air shot again by DigiB. He's a magnet for these rockets these games.
Yeah, I think definitely this is a pretty tricky point to stalemate with how many sack attempts are going to come in the lower like bracket. So Storm, as we see, just instantly can get that jump in onto Ascend through the window. That pretty much wouldn't happen for free in one of the upper bracket games. Like, there's always going to be stickies somewhere, and Scout stood on top of the fence right there. So I think eventually Paco RobLAN are going to be able to bust this just by doing pretty much basic stuff over and over. It's just DigiB, in fact, has something to try and say about that.
Go on.
Jumping all around.
Oh my god! DigiB! What a rocket from him. The direct onto Piggles knocks him up in the air and absolutely annihilates him. As you were saying, they could just try again, but DigiB just muscles through and makes it happen.
Yeah, I mean, single sacks is sometimes all you need. Like, you just throw someone in there. It didn't look like it was going to be a particularly good one after everyone had their eyes on him, but Piggles just serves it straight up in front of him, and it's a beautiful and easy shot to take him down with the drop there. So all the momentum back in the hands of Xypher once again. Finally, they can get back into this map. They've taken down Storm as well, running forwards over the midpoint. They are going to be able to get this capped up. There is a back cap, in fact, from Force, but it's only ×1, and now that they know that he's all the way behind, they can go even faster. They know there's only 4 players ahead to take care of, and Piggles doesn't have the Uber up yet.
Yeah, he's going to need to retreat sharp. It's just means he's going to get back to his team for this impending last push by the looks of things. But taking a very, very slow amount of time, just like Stickies have been dead as well. They managed to find anyone, so it's going to be nice and clean in second as well. Force has now made his way into lower. It's going to get a pack that's already been spotted by Lil Q, so his attempt to get in here is going to get absolutely thwarted. Either way, they're going to lose him. If he can get one, it's really good, but it does not look like that's going to be the case. He's going to get taken down in lower by Nintails. So
I mean, he's done more than his job at this point. It's like, Xypher are just so slow, painfully slow moving through these points. It's the second time they've lost a massive advantage like this just from walking through second, and now they have to sack instead of being able to push. DigiB's going to lose his life to the sniper, just trying to get in onto the demo there. Davey goes down very low, but it's a nice arrow to keep him still alive. But this could have been such an easy, fast round if Xypher just went balls to the wall, ignoring that player behind him.
yeah, it looks like now they're going to be moving in towards lobby. Stickies are above the bats area, but it looks like Cheese is going to be the option for Forced here. Going to be trying to make his way in, but unable to really do as much. Storm just going to be spammed from lower. These players just so afraid to make anything happen here. They can't really get backed up when they try and get through this doorway. The spam is really heavy to lobby. Finds Kid with a nice pipe from Acicle, so he's going to get cleaned up there. There's definitely Davey does get cleaned up as well. Spam rockets from DigiB to take him down, so things are really going to open up with no demo and no scout available and no defensive alt classes from this red side. They're just going to be walking in for free here, but and really unable to do anything here as the Ubers are going to get traded out on that low ground. Acicle's going to be spamming in towards that spawn door, just trying to find anything that he can. Looks like he's not got much ammo left in the tank. Nintails here is going to get cleaned up on this point as well, and things are just going to kind of settle down this left-hand side, but these soldiers have come in on the blue side, bombing in towards the spawner. They do find Pickles, they find 3. All of a sudden, Xypher are now on the front foot as it's just going to be Force left alive, and the point is going to go the way of Xypher. Yeah, what could have been Paco RobLAN, they managed to delay their Uber out a little bit. They were buying some time for their respawners, but it was just not enough. The respawners got immediately double bombed by Xypher as they came out the spawn door, so that demo was straight back into the respawn queue. Very nicely played by Xypher, and they do manage to take that 1-0 slowly but surely, and maybe they'll have a bit of a better mid this time round and roll it forwards. Yeah, we'll see what happens on this mid. I mean, Acicle's arrived pretty early once again, but Devin's just trading out damage pretty evenly by the looks of things. Both soldiers going to be taking the high ground here. No crunching just yet, but looks like Storm is kind of in position for it. And Max is going to be taking the high ground. It looks like it's actually going to be a slow mid here, so we're going to just see teams spamming across, seeing what they can do. Pac's going to initiate the fight on that top right area and does take down Storm to do so, and Force going to be bombing in behind as well. Players just dying all over the place for this red team. The blue team coming out on top already. And Pickles wisely just going to be escaping out through Cheese, but the soldier is currently on the chase. Mac is just there. Lots of damage dealt to this scout. It needs to turn around for Pickles, who is a threat in himself with those arrows.
Yeah, I mean, Pickles has already won that 1v1 once today. Mac better not give him another chance, but he does find the frag onto Texki instead. And Pickles surviving is very, very nice here, but there's already so much presence on second, it might be a bit of a tricky one. Ascender's only just respawned. He's up now with his scout, going to be running forwards to the front line. Pickles is going to have to also get this spawner up before they try and use this 100% Uber out of their own last, if they even opt to go for it. Mac is still down, so they do have that to work with at the very least. They jump through onto the bridge. Nintails is trying to find a back cap through lower here, but it looks like he's just going to lose the soldier 1v1. Kin is going to go down to some stickies here as well, and neither of the Ubers have been used yet. Pickles has actually surfed all the way away from his team. He's going to have to use just to get back to them and put the beam on them. This is a very, very strange fight.
Yeah, I mean, at least Ascend has managed to survive this fight. It's very, very strange, like you mentioned. Piggles there, surfing across. Couldn't really get back to the rest of his team, but the rest of his team didn't respond to his surf either, so couldn't really make anything happen with that or survivability. But they're going to be coming in on the blue team relatively for free. Looks like Storm is going to get caught here, just pistol whipped down by Lil Cute, so they're able to do anything at all, as they're going to start looking in towards lower, as going to be the push zone. Davies going to be layering up the stickies on point, ready for the defense, and Kin is up on that engineer already as well, going to be taking that with a gun. Heading over towards the left-hand side of this push is going to be Xypher. Everyone's just getting buffed up, getting ready. The sniper on the left, Texi. Let's see if he can find a demo before the push. The Uber does come in on that left-hand side. They're going to be spamming down on towards the gun and clean it up on that spawn door. Players out on the left-hand side, but they're just going to get destroyed and mowed down. Acicle with the damage, just finding so much here, but eventually getting cleaned up here, and it's turning around in the side of the red team's favor, but Piggles does go down, so no heals available for this red side, so they can play it nice and slow on the side of Xypher if they would like.
Yeah, I have no idea how Xypher weren't able to kill anything there. I mean, they finally take down Piggles and Davey at the very, very end of this fight, but that's not really enough. And now there is a recontest on second, but with no heals here to back them up, it's going to be very, very tricky for Storm to find any reason to hang around. There we go, they are going to be leaving to last already once again, and the 50% advantage in the hands of Ascend. Maybe they can do a little bit better on this redo. They were very slow to get in last time. They had to cap second up because they had forgotten to do that. This time, they'll be much faster. They should be able to make something work. Teskey is sniping way out the spawn door as well. He's just looking into lower here, waiting for that med to cross, but he jumps across the angle, doesn't manage to shoot the foot off there, and he will now back up into the spawn door. Again, so slow. Here we go. We're finally coming in with the push. As they do bomb forwards, the sentry gun is going to get taken down. Acicle now moving forwards towards the combo, who are just all trying to do the exact same thing as last time, kiting towards the truck side, but this time the collapse works perfectly. They're getting all the frags here, just force left on the point. Kin is running out of spawn to try and block it too, but it ends up as a 5v0. Nearly flawless there for Xypher on the last push. Much better job.
Yeah, a much better job there from Xypher. I feel like they've got it down now. They get their round on the board, and it looks like they've got that pretty cleanly in the end. That's what happens when you get an Uber advantage push with the Snake Water map, like we mentioned before. I mean, you can try and set up Design Fortress hold with that sentry gun over on the right-hand side, but it's looking kind of lights out by the time we get to last. So unable to do anything there. Acicle going to be making his way in towards mid pretty quickly again. So he's been very, very fast at getting to these mids before Davey. So, but it looks like once again, two very slow mids. Everyone's just kind of setting up, getting in position. DigiB's going to be taking the top area. Little King on the defense as well with him, but Ken on that top left side getting spammed down quite heavily. He's going to get focused on the floor and cleaned up immediately. Nintal's finding that one as well. Trading out. Storm and Force managed to make their way into Saw as well. So these soldiers are just in behind as Ascend and Piggles are both dead, like we mentioned before. Just going for these medics immediately on these mids. And now we're just going to see a scrappy DM fight all over the place. We've got bodies flying everywhere. Mac is 1 HP in a dream, trying to find directs onto Davey, trying to dodge pipes as well. Still on one, and he's going to eventually get cleaned up. Mac does survive the mid.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, having 1 HP actually makes a pretty big difference there in what would have been a demo 1v1 if he had a single HP less. But being able to just spam those rockets over, kind of coerce the Davey into where he wants him to be. But again, another mid-fight win for Xypher. They don't have the advantage this time. As you said, Piggles and Ascend both went down very, very quickly, but there is a fast bomb up from Mac. He's controlling the high ground a lot here. Everyone is pretty split now from the side of Paco RobLAN. Storm's going to get taken down, Nintails as well. There's a very fast bomb from DigiB. He's going to be able to find Davey here. So nice frags overall, and Piggles is basically already out of the fight. He has no one to heal as well, though, so Acicle can chase him. He's managing to put some damage in, but Piggles will eventually go down to the pipe, so this is massive now. 100% advantage for Ascend here on second. This has just been something that's happened time and time again. Like, Piggles ends up somewhere completely disconnected from his team, and none of them are trying to get to him, and he'll just get fragged by like one random person. Even though he's hitting nice Sir to get into a good position, put a lot of distance between himself and the enemy, there's no friends there to help him.
Yeah, he just seems to be able to surf out into these positions, or he knows where he needs to leave, because I feel like he is in the right position to leave, but the rest of the team are just not on the same page. And also, always feels like with that Iron Bomber, like you get piped in the toes, but this blue Uber is going to be making their way through the shutter like they've done several times before. And this looks like the sentry gun up once again. They should be spamming down onto it. Do manage to take it down. The sniper on the left-hand side spawn is also going to just hide as well. But the rest of the red team have mostly survived this, just blobbing up towards this truck as well. So it's like now we're going to see these players try and re-push back out here. That has opened up the flank. It means that Mac is able to come in as well. Spounced is heavy. Lots of damage has been dealt. And this flank coming in is just absolutely wreaking havoc, and they just cap it out.
Yeah, I mean, it is very interesting seeing how these teams are learning off of each other's last pushes over and over again. Obviously, Xypher clearly learning a lot better after winning 3-4 rounds here now. But every time they take it in through the shutter side, Paco RobLAN will try and kite up towards the complete opposite door. And now instead of going for the frags over there, they're just trying to cap the point. They bring everyone back, and then they can collapse on the point, and they just get all the frags there. Bring the frags to us even. We don't have to go chasing people with our Uber. And here we go once again. We're back onto mid. Avatar Uruguay in with a very fast bomb onto Ascent. Storm's trying to follow it up, but they're not finding much. In fact, it's Piggles that's the one going down first. They haven't even managed to find Ascend with this full 6-man aggression. Davey doesn't even get anything in the end. That's just a full wipe off of a 6-man sack, essentially.
I feel like we just watched a DM server, you know, where Yeehor is just on one team, just absolutely steamrolls, as Ninetales and Lil Q just make way and everyone just dies in front of them. But looks like now Ascend, once again, doing a really good job of surviving on that mid there, so he's going to have this full Uber here, so we're going to see what they want to do with it, but I'm fairly certain we're going to see the box standard left push, and they have got literally nothing to counter this.
Look how close Texy
is so close. If he was on third person, look how close he is to lower. He's just there.
He knows that he doesn't want this med to be able to jump over the shot, but yeah, he gets spotted instantly. Now, they might even just go through lower here. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. They know they can catch the sniper, and they're just not able to get him in time as he gets into the spawn door, but they do get the sentry down at least. This soldier's very low health, going to get cleaned up as well. Now they have a frag and the sentry down. Piggle's only on 60%, so there's no worries about him getting the Uber anytime soon. Storm is still dead, but they need to start finding some other frags pushing this one forwards. They are walking towards the point now. There's only 3 men left surviving, as Force will crater as well. The stickies are still on the point, but they make them off eventually from Davey. He was holding on to that depth for dear life. He just did not want to let go of those sticks.
Davey just using the "you shall not pass." These stickies are not going anywhere, boys. And eventually, in the end, just you know, crumbles down. When you're left in that demo man situation, you have to choose between dealing damage with your stickies or defending that point, and it's really just between a rock and a hard place. And you've got to be Habib to get out of that one. So looks like Davey heading in towards lower, and does manage to make it in roughly before Ace Call at the start of this bit, but it looks like Mac is also going to be there as well. So both these teams, once again, nice and slow start to this mid. Storm's going to be coming on to bats, but did you be in with a high bomb? These soldiers have now initiated quite fully into both teams. So once again, seeing a bit of a crunchy, but Ascend just gets deleted, and now the rest of the team is now going to have to try and salvage, and Piggles is just going to be on Crits Creek by the looks of things, which I didn't notice before, and he is slightly surrounded, but it's like they're going to manage to focus down players one by one, and Lil Q is going to be hiding in lower on a smidge of HP.
Yeah, Lil Q just trying to steal some packs, and I believe this is the first time we've seen a Paco RobLAN mid-win.
Yeah, it is.
Round of applause for Paco RobLAN.
Good job, guys. Well done. Also, Pickles on the Crits Creek here is going to be absolutely hilarious. We're going to see what they're going to be able to do with this one, because they're trying to link up with Davey, but he's getting bodied by Ninetales. Does find the pipes, though, in the end. So looks like Lil Q and Ninetales are losing out that trade there. But with this crit, Davey now alive off that spawner, they're going to make their way into second. And let's see if they can actually get a snipe with this sticky from Davey onto
There's no way.
Bats.
Look where Ascend is stood. He's just completely inside. They aren't going to be using it yet.
Oh, he's moving up into lobby. Looks like they could use it. They do not in the end. The sticky's just coming in from that blue demo. Amazing job there from Acicle, just sticking out the competition. They really want to use this one. They're just going to have to try and force in here, because otherwise Ascend is going to get Xypher. They do get the crits out, and it looks like it's finding nothing. They do manage to get one. Matt goes down to one sticky here. He's charging up another, slinging it towards the spawn, but can't find anything else. He's going to dead that sticky as well. So this is a little bit of a fail here for this Crits Creek. It's not what you want to see.
Only has 90 though. It's okay. Now it's completely fine. I thought that another soldier might have been posing to go in, but no, and eventually he does get cleaned up, in fact, from lower as well. That's Force going down, so Xypher still in control. They gave us some a glimmer of false hope, and now they are just back in the driving seat. They have 100% Uber charge, even if this crits comes up for Piggles. They already know about it. Obviously, triple damage is still 0 damage versus an Uber, so they can just take that Uber as if it was an advantage whenever they like to.
But
oh my god, this the flank bust is incredible. They just wipe 2 people on the flank here.
Yeah, they just bust the flank. That's an incredible maneuver, actually, because now that we're in this situation where there's a crits available, The blue team know that they want to use their crits to try and drop the med. Oh, they gets the drop though! The sticky just flies in. Ascent gets deleted. Acicle going down as well. And this crit sticky is still live, but looks like Lil Q and Nintel's gonna be just cleaning up players on the flank, but this crit sticky comes in. Nintel's goes down. Lil Q desperately trying to salvage, bodied again by Davey. And this might be a round. They're busting onto left. It looks like Ugo is down. Matt gets destroyed as well. DGB with nice sticky. He's gonna get a round, and Capside coming down. He can't make it in time. It's gonna be a round for Paco RobLAN.
One round as predicted. Let's see if they can make it happen. If the TCM comes in, I mean, they have 10 minutes to do it. It would be very fun to watch, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, Xypher have such an advantage here over both these two maps. It's, I mean, a mountain to climb. Acicle does kind of flub his rollout a bit. He's much, much slower than Davey to mid this time, but it shouldn't matter too much. He's actually taking a bit of spam from it, but he gets the arrow up, never mind anyway.
It looks like they're going to be heading across here. Matt going in with the bomb. They can't quite find Pickles. And they've got players flying everywhere. Lil Q going down as well, so a glimmer of hope for this red team as Uwe going down there, but sacrificing his life just to make sure that they claim this mid. But Pickles, once again on the crit streak. This man is an absolute medic savant. He's been carrying this one through, but Ascent clearly knows about it because he is nowhere near this second point.
Yeah, he is just hiding in that lobby to make sure there's no angle that could possibly find him with the crit sticky, but Pickles is ready to walk it in through lower. They use it onto Mac, in fact. They do push him away with a 180 sticky, but they need to find a frag here. Ninetales just walks onto one. That's a freebie for Davey. And in fact, look, Teski's just running through the shutter. He's managed to bait them onto the point a little bit. DGB is incredibly low, but the frags are just going Xypher's way anyway. Teski just like ran in, tickled the point, and ran straight back out.
That's a real Chad move. That's when you start dealing a little bit of mental damage, you know, when you're able to run into a last and run out again. But Mac is eating tons of damage. I do not think that they can push out of this very easily. So they are going to be trying to make their way out onto bridge as Davey and the rest of the team are going to have to head out through lower. Force once again bombing him, eating so much damage. They're not going to be able to rescue him.
Teski's
and they're just
on
bombing
last.
in. Looks like Texi is on last. He's all the way across. Can he get the cap? The block comes in. Texi gets it. It's another out for Paco RobLAN.
There we go. I mean, his timing was impeccable. Ninetales was just dropping down from the balcony into Africa, lands right ahead of where Teski had just run. He manages to slip by through his legs and get all the way into lower and to last get that free round capped up. This could be the start of a very funny comeback if we do see Davey once again faster to middle than his Acicle partner, on the other side.
Yeah, Pickles once again on this crit streak though, going to be coming on that low ground. Looks like they're just going to be sticking with it. What's been working, so now getting in their heads a little bit of this Xypher team, but let's see what they can do here. Mac's going to be going in towards Kitchen. It looks like they're going to be changing things up a bit. Uguay's going to be mirroring this one. Mac goes in with a bomb, deleted by Kindred, so unable to do anything at all here on the high ground. It's DGB, and Force going to be rotating in through lower, just trying to drag players away, but it looks like they're going to be leaving this mid. They are well aware that Pickles is on this crit streak. Uguay goes in, unable to do anything at all here, and it looks like Ascent is going to be holding off by Saw. Chris comes
the Chris
in,
on the scout!
unable to do anything here, absolutely deleted, and Davey's going to be coming in from behind, and he is going to take a 1v1 with a scout, and we all know how this is going to end.
Yep, Davey not long for this world, and here we go, Xypher once again back in the driving seat. I believe is this the first time Pickles has died on crits? Maybe he just was on crits because he was not able to switch off. Well, he was able because he won a couple rounds, but maybe now he'll, no, he's still decided to keep up on the crits. Acicle has gone down to a scout in the meantime, so no demo man for the side of Xypher. They do still have this Uber up, so it will be kind of dangerous to try anything too much. They are playing very, very close on the ground here from Paco RobLAN. They could get wiped if they have the correct classes here, but no, DGB is just walking in and dying as well.
I mean, it's a very, very interesting scenario here. They have this massive Uber and Splover, but they constantly fear this crits. I mean, it does build faster, but they're miscalculating how long it takes to build that crits, and as a result, they're playing pretty slow, and it looks like Force is going to get in on top of Ascent, and does get the Force here, so they're going to have to use that Uber through lower, and this crit streak is going to become available in the next second or so, the crits is going to be coming onto Davey. He does pop it out, gets the crit onto Lil Q, picks him down. Can he get it onto Ascent? He's leaving through lower, but he cannot find that final sticky to just snipe him off. As DGB is going to be bombing in around towards Cheese as well, creating a little bit of space. But the rest of Xypher looks like they're going to be unable to get in here as the rest of the team is just bodying up through lower.
Yeah, and it's 6 minutes to find 3 rounds. We need this next crits to work, and then we need it all to be downhill from there. They need to just run it, the momentum forwards, if they want to stay in this game and in the LAN tournament. Of course, this is an elimination match. This is the lower bracket. One of these teams is going to be going home after this one.
The damage from Acicle was huge, and Force goes down. The pistol comes out from Ninetales. Piggles going down, continues the rampage. It's going to be Davey as the lone survivor. He needs to get this medium pack and get out to last. A late death could cost them here. And it looks like he does get the kill onto Ninetales, and he does trade, but no Demo Man on this last. And full Uber for Ascend. It's looking rather dire.
Yeah, here we go. This is the end. This is where Paco RobLAN are going to die, unfortunately, at Insomnia69. Here comes the 100% Uber ad. They are being pretty slow to go with it. They've got to wait for their respawners. Acicle is still rolling out by the looks of things. Two soldiers, though, are offering up their lives to this big door on the right-hand side, and now everyone's managed to get in for free. They pop onto nothing just because they can at the end of the round. They're going to find Teskey. Davies very, very low on top of the point. That's no Demo Man, no stickies to be played with. And now, there we have it. Xypher are going to be popping up this last point, and it's 5-1, or 5-2, sorry, on map 2 to knock them out 2-0.
Yeah, rest in peace, Paco RobLAN. You were excellent in the tournament. You made it all the way this far. But now you've been defeated by a superior team. I mean, that's just kind of how it rolls at LAN. You'd never know who's going to turn up, but rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. And I believe we do have an analyst desk ready to take this away from us.
Indeed.
It was a lovely, kind of nostalgic trip for me here, Kado, because I remember being, well, I used to be that good, but just those sorts of LAN games where it was just about fun, the moments, the highlights, the unoptimal play, but the fun play about it. Do you miss those days at all?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's something I can relate to. Like, I remember playing like through the open bracket, getting into like these parts of playoffs in the lower bracket. Yeah, it's nostalgic. It's nostalgic to see. Like Paco RobLAN doing their absolute utmost to try and contest Xypher, Xypher looked very strong yesterday as well. Like Xypher against Boomers. Didn't get to see that game. I had some other DPSO attempts at that time, but like Xypher very clearly looked like the second strongest team in our open in that game. That game kind of sums it up. Paco RobLAN doing their best, but just not able to quite hit the heights they needed to.
Yeah. Now, these LAN events, usually they're like a good selling point for yourself as a player. If you usually enter these teams, enter these mixed teams and things like that, it's like a good display of skill and showing off. Almost you could just slap this sort of recordings onto your rec post on ETF2L. Was anybody that was catching your eye a bit from these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people, to be honest. Like, I mean, Ninetales for Xypher, he was kind of, I was kind of looking out for what he was up to, because I've actually heard some rumors on the grapevine that that's a guy that I won't say who, just in case it's not supposed to be out there, but he's a player that I heard a very, very high caliber team was considering taking a risk on and trialing. It did get vetoed by one of their players at the end, but he's a guy that very, very good teams were actually considering. They see him like, people in the know in Prem, they see him as like a prospect for the future. On the other side of things, on the Nico side, on the Paco side, pardon me, on the Paco RobLAN side, Davey, like going back all the way back to Sunshine, that 5-0, that person top damaged in a 5-0 20-minute roll. He top damaged. Okay, he went 3 for 13.
Yeah.
But as speaking as like a demo main myself, I've been in these tournaments. I've been rickrolled 5-0. I've dominated all the mid fights, but then my team just doesn't fall off my damage. This was the Davey experience for this match. Like, he put out like an amazing attempt on Sunshine at doing something, but just nothing to happen. And then when they did the crit swap on Snake,
yeah,
I mean, the only rounds they got were basically off the back of these crit swaps, and he was pivotal in that as well.
Yeah. Is TF2 one of those games where you can enable those good plays? Can you like pick out like your Davies and think like, wait, if we just play around this guy or force the gameplay just around him? Like, I feel like when they brought out the crits and they were just pretty much the show was about him, just seeing what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go. They were actually getting some rounds on the board. Is that like a good way to kind of, retrofit your TF2 team when you come to these lands and teams like these?
Yeah, I think so, to be honest. Like, it's not really something we see as much now, but it used to be back in the day that specifically with something like crits, you would have your crits teams, quote unquote.
Yeah,
you would
have
have
Russian teams.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking of, like the Russian teams with your can't remember their demos names now.
GDK?
Yeah, GDK was a big one. There was a couple of them, but yeah, GDK sticks in mind. And yeah, there would be a team based around crits. You know, there was once upon a time where, you know, if you were starting a pug or something like this, your medic would ask, should I run crits or Uber? Almost like as a courtesy, like it was considered like a 50-50 thing. Whereas now, as we saw in this game, they just tried crits at the end. It's like a Hail Mary. But, you know, maybe if they come in with that game plan from the off, and this is something that maybe some other mismatched teams could take away. If you come in with this kind of a game plan from the off, I mean, imagine if those 2 rounds had been at the start and they'd gone up 2-0, like especially with 5-minute round time, they would have had so many more options in the game, but they didn't figure out that option until the very end.
Now, about LAN, there's always a bigger fish here at LAN, and now they've got the little fish here, Xypher, and they have to play off against another big fish. What sort of words could you say to Xypher to kind of maybe give him a spurring chance punching up against some of the Goliaths that they're going to be playing on later on in the tournament?
Do we know who they're going to play yet?
I think it might be the winner of like Boomers or something along the other.
Okay. I mean, well, they had an amazing game against Boomers yesterday, so I think they just try and take the momentum. Like they had a really, really comfortable win here. They're surely feeling good. Okay, they've got Mac in today for their missing Kaio, but I mean, Mac's a good lad to have.
That's a good point. If Kaio turns up, do you think it's better to go with that lineup that you originally entered LAN with, or do you just keep a good thing going?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure where Kaio is. Maybe. I
think he just had a bit. You know, he enjoyed his LAN. Let's just say that he enjoyed his LAN.
Okay, if he had too much fun, I mean, it depends. I think, assuming he's not done anything outrageous, like you want your original guy. You know, they made their effort to come to this LAN. Okay, he had a bit too much fun last night, but yeah, no. Exactly. If he turns up, he should play.
All right. Well, Kado, I think that'll be enough for our little analytical test for the moment. We're going to get all the preparations underway for going into our upper bracket games now. We're getting into the meat of it. Don't go away.
Hi, we're here. We just had ourselves Xypher winning their playoff game versus Paco RobLAN. We're here with Ninetales and Diggy B. Congratulations, guys. How are you feeling?
Feeling really good. We were a bit nervous on the final like snake water rounds, but we pulled through, you know? It was great.
Yeah, it was good. After we lost to the Boomers yesterday, who are kind of our closest rivals in the tournament. So we were a little bit worried about how good we'd compare to these guys, but you know, it was nice to win fairly comfortably in the end.
Good stuff. It's nice to get, you know, some closer games, I'm sure, after just kind of dominating all of your open games this entire time. So it's good stuff. Obviously, after this, you've now bought yourselves a ticket versus Swift, our 4th seed invite team. How are you feeling about that one?
You know, we're pretty nervous, but I think we're confident if we can take some rounds, if we can put some pressure on, we can maybe, you know, do well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way of looking at things. Diggy B, you got any big plans against Swift, or do you just kind of focus on things one game at a time?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any plans or anything. Like, we've never played against them before, but we were watching them play Boomers yesterday, and that was a really good game, really close. So it's nice to see that it's possible. Like, you know, we could win a map if we're playing well. Could even win 2, you never know, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Fair play. Well, it's lovely to see optimism. I guess the one last thing, you know, got any more plans for the rest of the tournament, or are you just happy just to be like, you know, we'll take it as we go and just kind of, you know, take it kind of each map at a time?
Yeah, I just think we're taking it one map at a time and seeing what happens. I'd like to shout out Mac with a C for subbing in that game. He was really great and he was really helpful, and he really saved us there. So, shout out to Mac.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much for coming to chat, and obviously congratulations on your win again. Good luck in the next game.
Welcome guys, welcome to some bonus content here. I've got a bit of time before our upper bracket game, so why not bring in the boys from Paco RobLAN here to have a quick sort of, well, I don't want to call it a loser's interview, but more just like just game interview, because it was a good game to watch. But first we need to know who is who over on this lineup. You've got the overlay helping you out a little bit, but gamers, introduce yourself one by one. Come start with me over here, and then we'll go down the line.
So, hey, I'm Storm. I like long walks on the beaches. I'm just a regular guy, you know? I'm single, ladies. That's it.
Hey guys, I'm Taxi, and I'm kind of boring. I just play Scout.
I'm Faust. I play Pocket Soldier and Main Call. I've got the worst rockets in Div 1. And I'm also known as Boss Man on Pugs.
Yeah, that's true. I am Davey. I play demo for this team and many other teams. Almost 2K hours on demo, but still bad. And I play TF2 just to practice English.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to the couch. Thank you for humouring me and coming onto the settee here. I'm going to let you get your excuses out of the way now. What happened? What happened in these 2 games? Like, where did it go wrong? Who wants to start?
Honestly, I think we just needed gamer chairs. That would have made all the difference. You know, either that or AZN config, and I reckon we'd have just cleaned out. It's the main opinion.
Main opinion is I didn't have time to get 1.5 drinks in me, so we didn't have like the drive. So I think that was what's missing. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the gaming chairs, I don't know, no armrests, you just can't play, you know. I'd rather play at a standing desk, but it is what it is.
The lack of a good PC, mostly for me.
Closer, my boy. I want to hear you. I want to hear you.
Lack of a good PC and just struggling.
How was it playing with your boy Mac coming in at last? Wait, no, that's the other team. Whoopsie doodle. Woo! Embarrassing. But anyway, how was it playing against Mac? I should say, coming in. Did you think like when you saw Mac coming in, you were like, "Ooh, this team's gonna be easy. Koyo's out."
I would rather play against drunk Koyo, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously don't want to get carried away with sort of theory crafting. It's LAN at the end of the day, and you know, you can only play what you're up against, and it's just what happens in the game, in the match. So, you know, you can look at those players as long as you want, decide, oh, maybe we're better with this, they're better with that, but it's a team game, Team Fortress 2, and it doesn't really matter who their replacement player is, because they were the better team at the end, so.
I do agree on the better team thing, but we also would like to say that we had a strat of killing Koyo yesterday, like with alcohol, which kind of went well, but we went too far.
That's just next level
strats, we just went too far,
mate,
so they ended
LAN
up like.
Starts as soon as you step in the LAN center. You could start like breaking arms and don't break arms.
We tried. We tried our best. We tried our best. Like drunk Koyo would have been maybe like an easier target, but yeah, regardless, I agree with Faust. Like they were just a better team.
Too much. You should have just got him into a hungover state, and that was it. All right. So how did the open games go? Because obviously I didn't really manage to catch that. Did you enjoy your open games? Were they all like roles?
I think it was. I think overall we all know it's been a bit of a shame that there's not a bigger turnout for the tournament compared to some previous Insomnias. So, you know, playing the open games, there were a lot of games that were over quite fast. You know, we played one team which only had 4 players, so I just went to the bar in the middle of that, came back and saw my team finishing the game. And you know, it's a bit of a shame when you get games like that, because we came here to play and we wanted to have fun and all the rest. So we had a really, really fun game against the Boomers team. They're a really good team, and we were backing them in their game against Swift afterwards. And then we had a surprisingly close game as well against another one of the open teams. I can't remember their name exactly. That's the one, Shinzo Abe Memorial Service. So yeah, props to them. You know, they came out and they put in a really good shift, actually, quite an unexpected team. But most of the others were probably easier than we'd have hoped for.
Yeah. How long you guys have all been playing on LAN? Yeah, is this the first LAN event for any of you guys, or you all been quite first LAN event?
It's my first as well.
Speaking to the mic, sir. I want.
It's my first LAN. Yeah, I've been playing the game for quite a long while, actually. 11 years TF2, 9 years like comp, but I quit the game a few times, and like when I started, I was too young to come. My parents didn't really like the idea of me like playing games at all, so flying out to play games, not a thing. Now I have a job, and I would have come like to the LAN in 2020, but of course COVID happened, so I had to wait like 2 years for that. So, but yeah, great experience. I would definitely come back again. Amazing.
What about you boys? How many LANs under your belt now?
Well, I've been to 3 LANs prior, I-63, I-65 and Copenhagen, and I played on 2 of those. I didn't play at I-63, I was just a spectator, but yeah, it was pretty fun. I wasn't actually going to come here, but then, I don't know, I just realized it's been so long since the previous LAN because of COVID, and I wanted to meet all the people. That's like the main reason I came, and fortunately I found a team that still had a spot for me. So I just, you know, I got to play, which was really fun.
How about you two?
For me, it's a first. For me to actually play in a tournament was kind of like a last-minute thing as well. I had a lot of trials with different teams, but they hit me up in the end once I actually decided to not even play.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm kind of glad that it went like this, and just happy to be here.
You Fast?
I played at I-65 as well, on quite a low mid team, sort of low open bracket team, very mixy, because I was quite new to the scene at the time. I pretty much started around the time of I-63, so you know, this is my second LAN. again with a sort of mixed team, and it's really good fun playing with these guys as well. But I'd like to come to one of these with a team I've played a full season with, to have a bit more organisation, a few more strats down. I feel like that structure can also improve your gameplay quite a lot, as opposed to playing with 5 other good players, but in a mixed team, as I've done twice now.
So did you guys have like an initial goal in mind coming into the LAN, or is it just like turn up, see what happens, have fun? What was the objective for this LAN for you guys?
For me, I think it started off as very much a kind of we'll turn up, have a good time, have a few drinks, see everyone who I chat to for hours and hours online. And then, as we started playing, it sort of started to hit like, actually, you know what? I think some of these teams are beatable. Like Boomers, we thought, we could potentially beat them. Xypher as well, who we just played, if we were playing at, peak performance, it started to feel like, we could actually take maps off these guys, and the ultimate goal would have been, if we'd got through that, how much can we take off Swift? And it's sort of, the more we played, the more it felt like, I actually kind of want to try quite hard now, but ultimately, we didn't quite get that far. But
the
we
comeback was
time.
on at the end of Snakewater. If it wasn't for the win limit, for sure we would have won. But
who added that win limit to the ETF12 rule set?
Yeah, we were slapping Kado, don't we, over on the desk, like, Kado, how could you have done this to us?
Yeah, more or less the same, honestly. Like, I just wanted to turn up to have fun, play with a decent internet connection for once, because Italian internet not the best, not gonna lie. And yeah, just that's I got what I wanted. Like, had fun, played hard for as much as I could. Yeah, a bit sad that we didn't get to play Swift. Some teams, as Faust said, were a bit easier, but I think that's due to the availability of people, not just the availability of them, but also if they do have a way to bring their own PC, because rentals are gone in no time at all whenever a LAN is announced. And I was lucky enough to just get a rental for myself, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't have come here. There's no way I can bring my own.
They weren't even going to have rentals initially, right? And then something changed, or am I wrong on this?
No, they did. They did have rentals, but they lasted 2 minutes. They were not too expensive either. I think the price is fair, but just the amount of people we have here, and all the esports. So it's not just TF2, of course. So they just ran out in no time at all. I was lucky enough. I didn't have a team at all at the time, so I was also gambling on that, but it went well at the end, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Now, you can't sit there and tell me that you didn't think if I play good on LAN, I might get a good ETF12 team next season, or like that, or my buff up onto my rec post or something. Does this enter the mind of players anymore, or is it literally no, I'm here, I just want to play games, I don't care about how well I do or how well I don't do?
I wasn't thinking much about that, to be honest. I was just trying to do as good as possible, and just meet people, honestly.
How about you three?
Yeah, I was thinking, I came here to play the game with my team, have some good games, try and win as far as we can, and I think by this point, most people on the teams I'd want to play with sort of know who I am. I don't think a LAN performance would change that unless we'd, gone through and, just 5-0'd all the other teams in Open, 5-0'd Swift or something. Then maybe, that picks up a few interest. But otherwise, that's sort of quite at the back of the mind by this point. That people at least know who I am, and if they don't, well, they probably think I'm bad, so it won't change anything.
I don't hope for anything. I performed terribly, I think, but I was very burnt out prior to going to LAN. So my main goal was to up my mentals a bit, and just meet people, try to show them that I can actually be a nice guy as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really happy to be here and meet all of you guys.
All right, well, happy to have you as well. How about you, Dave Lee? I mean, that was some nice crits at the end there. Even Kado was saying this Dave Lee guy,
All right, I owe that to a very good friend of mine who taught me at first how to play Highlander, because as I said, I played TF2 to practice English, and I just got into this team with friends, but I at some point felt like I could do better and started practicing a bit more. We run, not as a meme, but almost as a serious thing, full crits for 3 months, a full season and stuff. So I got pretty decent at crits, so that came in handy for this occasion for sure. Even though a few of them didn't go so well, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you gave a nostalgic trip to me and Kado. We don't see crits teams really so much anymore. Just kind of like slapping that out and just like kind of running away with it.
Yeah, I mean, the crits only came out, Piggles was sort of theory crafting on the spot, you know, when things aren't going well. You know, we didn't have the structure in the background to really kind of play to a specific game plan. And that's the way I always main call is to a specific game plan that I always practice with my teams. So Piggles was there just coming up with all these strats on the fly. You know, the back cap was so calculated by him that we got that second round off. And, you know, these kind of plays, like Piggles was just incredibly smart the way he was just coming up with these, and they were just working, you know, catching Xypher out and stuff. So, you know, props to him as well for just setting up these opportunities for Davey just to come in and destroy people.
Yeah, that back play was actually really close to not working out well. I'm pretty sure I almost got blocked by a soldier who kept spamming that area, but just left in time so I could get in. So I'm just really glad that it actually worked out in the end, because that was like the only chance we had really.
So obviously it's been a long time since between LANs and all this stuff like that, and obviously it's first LANs for some of you guys as well. Is there anything that you missed in particular, or you don't miss about LAN and all this stuff? Like, I bet that LAN ping, that LAN ping?
Absolutely, yeah. Playing demo, as I said, Italian internet, not so good. It's not so consistent, but yeah, playing with 5 ping, it's amazing. Stuff that should hit actually hits, so it's very satisfying. Yeah, other than that, just being able to just hang out with TF2 people. I don't have like IRL friends that play TF2, and those that ask me about it, I just tell them don't play it because it's too much effort at times. But yeah, it's nice to hang out with people here that play TF2.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. I'd say like my favorite thing about LAN is just being able to meet all the people that you're actually playing against. You know, hearing Bjorn shouting in the background when we're playing against him. You know, the boomer he is, and yeah, it's really cool. And you know, being from Norway as well, there aren't that many TF2 players, and we're kind of scattered all over. So it's not like I really hang out with any TF2 players IRL. So just being here and meeting all these crazy people, you know, it's really cool, honestly.
Well, boys, you've been lovely humouring me here on the couch, and it's been great getting to know like the players behind the names and actually getting to know the players behind the team as well. What plans have you got left to do with your LAN now? Is it all about lads down the pub, glug glug glug, or
I think you've hit the nail on the head there,
watching games
Turbo, right there.
What about you guys?
Well, I don't really drink personally, so I'm just going to explore the expo and hang out with people probably.
I wish we could play a little more. I'm not sure. I don't think we're allowed to play the B tourney because we got playoffs.
You can play mixers, some fun mixers at midnight.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I need a couple of more frags for my frag movie, but I've been told that mixed frags are not allowed in those. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can sort out some scrims.
Mate, I use no pre-game. I'm pre-game frags.
Yeah, you gotta hide the HUD in that case. But
context does not matter.
Yeah, more or less the same as Storm, to be honest. I wish we could play more, but that's the reality of the tournament, so we just knocked out. But yeah, mixes are definitely in there. Also drinks for sure. Like, we finally have time. I didn't have time to go to the bar, to be honest. So yeah.
Well, I'll see you gentlemen at the bar then. All right. Well, thank you very much. You've been absolutely fantastic, and that has been Paco RobLAN. What a name! That should have won the tournament in of itself. But yeah, we'll be back soon with our upper bracket round 2 introduction on the desk. Otherwise, don't go away.